So imagine if you are in Cisco ISE and you have a whole bunch of, network devices that need to do some specific policy. Now you can come in here and specify each individual device by IP address. So imagine if you needed to do radius authentication on more than one device. We currently have radius and the network device. We could do different policy sets for each individual device. However, one of the things that we could do is come in here and do an OR statement where we can specify what type of devices are allowed to authenticate via radius. So we come in here and we choose network device and IP address, same as the existing. We add the value of the device, and then we should be good to go. However, if you just hit use here, it's going to be and across the board. So the best thing to do is just to move the other object into the OR statement and then add as many as you like. So in this case, if radius comes across, it will check to see, for the OR statement. This can get pretty cumbersome if you have, like, say 100, Linux devices. So what we may need to do is think, what's an easier way to do this? One of the things that I like to do is to come over here to Administration, Network Resources, and Device Groups. This allows us the ability to specify device types as well as locations. So we can come in here and add a new device type called Linux. If you want to make it more specific, like Linux radius, you can specify this group under the device types and hit save. One of the other items I also like to do is specify via location. A lot of the times, a location might just be for, sanity check to know where things are in the network, not necessarily for policy, but if you can come up with a reason to specify authentication via location, such as admins in the West Coast, East Coast, out of country, whatever you like. So we can go back to our policy sets now, and we can modify this policy to specify network device type. Now we'll get a list of Linux radius. Once we hit use, we now have Linux radius type. The thing is, though, we are not finished yet. We need to go to our network devices, and we need to go to our Linux server, edit it, and now we can specify the device type as Linux radius. Once that's done, we have all of our Linux devices specified as a device type. We hit save. And now let's try to SSH into this device using our radius authentication. It was 5.251. Put in my radius password, and you're going to notice I am in. We come back over here to radius live logs. We have our TEMSA. This is the session, permit access, authorization rule 1, and we are able to log into the device. Oddly enough, it does say device type all device types here, so I'm kind of wondering if I didn't save the policy. Well, I did. So keep in mind also, let's check out the other live log, because this one right here was for, I believe it was for authorization. So let's click on this authentication detail report. Authorization rule 1. There you go. Device type, all device types, Linux radius. So because the device is in that specific device type rule, that is the policy set that gets used. Linux radius. We authenticate via AD. And we're looking for the domain admins group in Active Directory to permit access. One other thing we could do, I just want to show you this really quick. We can come in here and specify an and or an or, like we saw. In this case, we want to do and. So let's do an and for network device, or it's actually under location. So device location, choose from the list, Las Vegas, use, and save. So now our radius policy only applies to devices in Las Vegas that are Linux radius devices. And that's our short on device types and locations.